Hey bitches, welcome to my channel. My name is Will. Today I have a new segment of I want to find a rock to climb under and hide and never come out of because people suck. As well as another example of straight conservative people trying to ruin the lives of those who've done absolutely nothing to them. And the story all starts with a shoe. Crocs, to be more specific. Both on this channel and on my former channel, I've always made my love for the brand Crocs very well known. I've opened up Crocs and showcased my ever-growing collection. I even got a tattoo of a Croc on my arm. However, now it seems I can no longer support the company Crocs because they've been under fire for supporting drag queens. Welcome back to another installment of People Suck. Today I'm going to be covering some drama involving the UK DragCon 2023 and the brand Crocs. Buckle up because we're in for a wild ride. Since 2015, RuPaul Charles, best known for RuPaul's Drag Race, has had RuPaul's DragCon, which originated in LA. DragCon is, and I quote, "a convention that celebrates the art of drag, queer culture, and self-expression for all. DragCon LA sparked DragCon NYC and various other locations as well, eventually DragCon UK. What goes on at DragCon, you might be wondering? Well, past RuPaul's Drag Race contestants and other well-known drag artists meet with fans, take pictures, sign autographs, and sometimes perform or take part in a discussion panel as well as sell merchandise. The discussion panels vary from more obvious topics like clothing, fashion, wigs, makeup, to history of drag, drag activism, trans rights, queer pop culture, and political issues facing the LGBTQ community. The intended demographic for these is usually between the ages of 18 and 34. But this year, the DragCon UK wanted to feature a children's fashion show segment for children to dress up in drag and get a chance to perform. The post promoting the event said, "Hit them with your catwalk, kids. Bring it to the runway with your parent/guardian for the hashtag DragCon 2023 Kids Fashion Show, Sunday, the 8th of January on the Crocs Europe main stage." Crocs and Teletubbies were both meant to be promoting as well as co-sponsoring this event. But really quickly on, Crocs was under fire for supporting such a thing. On Fox News, the issue of Crocs supporting a kids' fashion show at DragCon was even compared to Balenciaga having kids in an ad which featured bondage. If you don't know what I'm referring to here, the brand Balenciaga was recently under fire because they had an advertisement where kids were holding these teddy bears in what appeared to be bondage. I literally cannot find any reason online as to why they thought it would be a good idea to have these little girls holding these little bondage bears, but naturally, the media called this disgusting, weird, wrong, creepy, and I have to agree. Balenciaga did issue an apology for this, but they mainly just said, "Sorry this made you uncomfortable. We took it down now. Sorry." People are now claiming that Crocs co-sponsoring the kids' fashion show at DragCon is similar to that issue, even though it's not at all. There's a big difference between promoting self-expression and kids with teddy bears who were dressed for a different kind of playtime.
A lot of people on the left are turning children into fashion accessories. Like, it's cool to say, "Oh, my kid goes to drag shows." But deep down, we know that's not right. We all know. I mean, how is it okay to bring kids to a sex show?
How is it okay for kids to be attending a sex show? Nowhere in the description of DragCon did I hear that it's supposed to be a sex show, but okay, I'm convinced that these people just don't know what goes on at drag shows or at DragCon at all. Lots of people immediately started tweeting their lack of support for Crocs after this, saying things like, "I'm no longer supporting this company. Why would you do this? I've been buying Crocs for years, but not anymore." And one person even went as far as to say, "Why can't kids walk the runway as they are? Why do they need a cross-dress? Why are you promoting sexual fetishism for children?" Well, because it's DragCon. Drag is quite literally in the name of the event, so it makes sense that they would have kids dress up in drag and participate in that as well. I'm honestly sick and tired of people thinking that drag culture is nothing more than a sexual thing, and people thinking that people in the LGBTQ+ community are doing nothing but sexualizing other people and recruiting them into the LGBTQ+ cult. People literally like to believe that the LGBTQ+ community is a cult and that we're just constantly trying to recruit people and force them to join us, that we are forcing our lifestyle upon the innocent little children, and that we are forcing them to be gay, and that we are turning everything into a sexual thing or a fetish thing. And that is not what the LGBTQ plus community is doing at all. That is not what drag queens are doing at all. That is not what this children's fashion show at DragCon was trying to do. If you don't want to dress up in drag, don't. But that doesn't mean that everybody who does is wrong or that we're sexually exploiting children. Is it really that hard to imagine children wanting to express themselves in a fun and creative way? Drag is mainly done out of self-expression, and there are some people who do find more comfort in their sexual orientation or their gender identity through drag, but that doesn't mean that they are sexualizing it or making it out to be something terrible. Just admit that you're scared of a man in a dress. I'm just throwing this out there. I would feel 10 times more comfortable leaving my hypothetical child in the room with a drag queen or multiple drag queens than I would in a room with a priest or any cisgendered straight man at that. People like to blame the LGBTQ plus community and accuse us of sexualizing children and forcing our lifestyle on them, which is really ironic because it's always the straight cisgendered people I see actually sexualizing children. A lot of parents have a party to celebrate their child's penis or vagina before the child is even born. And then they use that penis or vagina to dictate the child's whole entire life. They go as far as to say, no, you can't do this, you have a penis. That's not for you, you have a vagina. Why do these body parts have to dictate how the child is going to live their whole entire life? Why are people so transfixed on what's in their child's pants that they can't see anything beyond that? Parents will literally be sobbing because they find out that their kid has a penis instead of a vagina, so now they can't do this and this and this with their kids. I'm not saying you can't hope for your child to like more feminine things or for your child to like more masculine things. I'm not saying you can't hope for a specific gender, but kids are going to have their own personalities and their own interests, and blue It's a Boy cupcakes aren't going to change that. Maybe you didn't have a daughter to have tea parties with and dress up in sparkly gowns, but maybe your son will want to. You'll just have to wait and see. If you can't stand the fact that your daughter might actually end up being your son, or that your son might like Barbie dolls instead of trains, you should not have children. Sure, you can force your kids to dress the way you want, like the things you want them to like, and look the way you want them to look, but at the end of the day, all you're going to get yourself is a shit ton of resentment and a guaranteed place at the worst retirement home in existence as you age. People are seriously so confined in these gender roles that I've gotten hate in the reborn community. Dressing my boy doll, this is a doll, no genitals, no soul, in girl clothes. As I've said, this is a doll. He has no genitals. He has no affiliation with being male other than the fact that I've chosen to use he, him pronouns when I describe him. But people are so stuck in their ideologies of this is a girl and this is a boy that they can't stand the fact of anything that even somewhat represents a male doing something that is not male-like or not manly enough for them. I seriously cannot believe that people can find themselves so offended by an inanimate object that literally has no connection to them whatsoever. People do this with pets too. I've been called a terrible person for letting my male cat wear a collar that has purple on it or that's purple, and like, he's a cat. He's fine. He doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is world domination and when he's going to get a treat. He doesn't give a fuck if his collar is purple or green or pink or blue or any color of the rainbow. It's also the exact same people complaining about the LGBTQ plus community forcing their children to be gay that are enforcing straight stereotypes on their child before they can even talk. Did you see that? I think my son likes your daughter. He's like one. He likes the taste of his own thumb. Oh, he's looking at you now. He's a real ladies man, isn't he? I think he's just looking. I'll have him call you in 18 years. Please don't do that. I can already see it. Yes, you're gonna woo all the girls, aren't you? I think he needs his diaper changed. Soon you'll have to lock up your daughter. Okay, I'm going to be locked up if you don't shut the The idea that their child will be straight and cisgender is literally enforced upon them the second they come out of the womb and are wrapped in a pink or a blue blanket. But yeah, we're the ones sexualizing children because we want them to be able to express themselves however they want to. make it make sense. I also find it funny that they're referring to DragCon as a sex show, because I've seen and heard of parents bringing children to things that are 10 times worse than that. Grown men have brought their sons to Hooters because they want to solidify the fact that women are objects who need to be sexualized at any given opportunity into their 7-year-old child's head. Also, how would taking a child to like a drag event like that be any different than taking them to like a concert with a famous pop artist? I've been to Lady Gaga and Katy Perry both in concert, and during both of those shows I've seen parents with very young children. They've both sung songs with sexual innuendos in them and worn outfits that show off the fact that they have skin. But that's okay, right? Because they're women and their songs are about women who love men. Why is that okay, but bringing them to an innocent little drag show isn't? If the drag show were to have too mature of content for children, it would be in a place where there weren't children allowed. I would also like to point out beauty pageants, especially beauty pageants made for small children. If you've ever seen the show Toddlers and Tiaras, you would know the extent that some parents go.
I don't think there's anything that's too far in pageants. I mean, if she wants to get spray tan, that's fine. If she wants a flipper, that's fine. If she wants expensive dresses, shoes. I guess I just don't want her to grow up and be a stripper. Although if she did grow up to be a stripper, she'd be one fabulous stripper.
It was a reality TV show, so it was supposed to be dramatic, but beauty pageants are a thing that actually exist in the world. They would put loads of makeup on literal toddlers, force them to get tans, force them to wear clothes that they found really uncomfortable, get up on stage, smile, and win them a crown. Why were we ranking 4-year-olds on their level of beauty? Why were we dressing 4-year-olds in revealing outfits? If anything is sexualizing children, it's that. Why can't children just walk the stage as they are in those things? Why do we need to put a pound of makeup on their face and give them a spray tan, huh? It's also ironic because all of the photos I've seen of children at DragCon, they literally look more natural than any of the children I've seen on stage in beauty pageants. And they all look like they were just genuinely having fun expressing themselves, wearing cool outfits, wigs, makeup, whatever they wanted.
I don't want to put on makeup, please.
I like dancing and I like performing and I love, not only I love dressing up.
It's too tight.
Can you breathe?
No.
Okay.
Just want our kids to express themselves however they see fit, as long as it's respectful and they're nice people. We really don't care.
People are just constantly looking for new ways to take down a community which is already heavily depicted in a very negative light. Of all the terrible things happening to kids in the world right now, why is this the thing that we are drawing attention to, and why is this the thing that we are making an issue out of? I'd literally feel more comfortable having my child sit at DragCon than in a classroom. But you guys don't want to talk about that. People would literally rather fight the fact that a kid is expressing themselves with makeup and wigs than fight against guns, which are being brought into classrooms and killing hundreds of people. And if you hate the LGBTQ+ community so much, why do you dedicate all of your time talking about the community? No one's forcing you to go to DragCon. No one's forcing you to dress up. Even if we are all just sinners who are condemned to hell, why waste your time trying to save us? You can just continue riding along on your high horse. We'll be just fine. Now, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned Crocs co-sponsoring the event, and now I want to talk about that. Because as I mentioned, Crocs was heavily under fire for supporting this event, and people were accusing them of just supporting something that was a children's sex show. And so allegedly Crocs pulled out of DragCon. I've seen a video from DragCon that showed Crocs' logo like crossed out and everything, so they had no affiliation with it anymore. And as I'm filming this video, Crocs hasn't addressed it either. I don't find it disgusting that Crocs was co-sponsoring this event, but I do find it kind of disgusting that they backed out because some homophobic assholes got to them. Crocs' whole brand is literally supposed to be come as you are and promoting inclusivity. But I guess it's just come as you are until it gives your company a bad rap. Come as you are as long as it's not controversial in any way. It's not even really controversy. It's a bunch of homophobes trying to make up allegations to tear a community apart. And this isn't coming from somebody who's hated Crocs from the beginning and is always finding reasons to hate on them. This is coming from somebody who's loved and supported the company since I was a literal child. I can somewhat understand that maybe they wanted to drop out because of the allegations that the DragCon was just sexualizing children and something like that. I can understand not wanting to be affiliated with that because that is pretty serious issue. But at the same time, the right type of people know that that is not what DragCon is doing at all. If you actually know anything about drag, it's easy to disprove those statements. I think it's more likely that they felt threatened by the amounts of people who were saying that they were no longer going to support the company after finding out that they were supporting DragCon. A group of people who are constantly ostracized anyways, it does kind of suck to have one of your allies just back out on you. Even if it doesn't seem like a big deal that Crocs pulled out, it does kind of matter to the group of people who are just constantly trying to get a little bit of representation and fair treatment. I can't imagine that they just decided to opt out of this for fun. It had to be a deliberate attempt to save face, and I'm disappointed. Once again, as I've said, I know maybe they just didn't want to have the allegations on their back, but it is an easy allegation to disprove if you actually know what goes on at DragCon. Moral of the story, these types of people are truly the reason why we can never have nice things. Every LGBTQ+ person I've met has been super respectful of everybody. Even the straight cisgender Christians who are constantly trying to get rid of us. We don't go shooting up straight bars because we believe that marriage should be between a man and a man or a woman and a woman. We don't try and talk anybody out of worshiping their God. I'm respectful at work when a mom demands a boy toy for her kid. We are not the ones who are killing and shaming an entire community simply because we don't agree with their lifestyle. The fact that a kid's fashion show is this controversial is just sad, and people truly do suck. That is going to be the end of this video. I am very disappointed that it is 2023 and we're still starting this year off with the same bullshit beliefs that have been around for centuries. Truly despair for the world. That being said, peace out.